Okay, this might be easier. Now I have it set to video as opposed to photo. Alright, let's crack on with this. Hey, it's LJ, and welcome to another edition of LJ Reacts. For those of you who have only just stumbled across this little YouTube channel of mine, what I do here is I kind of go back through all the pop culture from the last 15 to 20 years that I have missed due to having to grow up and become an adult and focus more on paying the bills and paying the rent and all the other jazz that happens when you get to that sort of age of about 19, 20 or whenever it is you move out. Although the younger amongst you, that may well be never the way property prices are going up through the roof. So, if you do enjoy what I do here, which is reaction videos to pop culture, you can, of course, like, share, subscribe. You know how this works if you've been on YouTube long enough. Because if you like this and you share it and someone else likes it and they share it, that brings more people to the channel. And if more people come to the channel, it gives me more motivation to do this, which means I'm producing more content, which you liked in the first place. And it's fairly simple when you put it that way. You can, of course, check me out. I am on all the social medias that are above my head right now. And if you want to see me in real life, you can check me out on the link below, which has all my live dates as well as all my other just stuff, because we all need stuff. Yes, you can check me out. I'm at the Traveller's Joy in Rayleigh most Thursdays, doing things all quizzical. And if you're watching this before the 31st of May, I will be refereeing Talks with Dorks podcast present Never Say Die, where I will be the referee. Other than that, you can, if you are feeling particularly generous, you can chuck some money in the tip jar just to say all the time you have spent working on this, you are worthy of having a coffee on my behalf. To which I say, I'd probably prefer a sandwich, but I appreciate that you appreciate what I'm doing. So that is what this is. That is what I need from you. So let's crack on with what I'm going to do for the rest of the video. So doing a little trailer breakdown today. Basically, it's been out a little while, but I have been on holiday the last few days, so I have not had a chance to sit down and watch this, let alone record a take on it. However, a lot of people have said, oh, you do need to check this out. This is this is immense. This is what you need to be checking out. This is the trailer for the new Superman film, which, going by what the buzz online, is a stark departure from the Henry Cavill version of the character, which, in my humble opinion, is something that is very much needed. So, growing up, when I was younger, I think the most prominent superhero would have been Batman and Superman. Marvel wasn't really a thing over here in the mainstream. Spider-Man, I guess, was a fairly big thing, but even then that was limited until he got the animated series. Same with the X-Men. They obviously, once the animated series happened, obviously their popularity exploded over here. But yeah, before that it was all Superman and Batman, especially with the the Batman animated series following on from the Tim Burton film. My personal opinion of Superman films is Richard Donner ones are brilliant. I definitely prefer the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, which is available out there if you want to track it down. Basically, all my issues with Superman 2 watching the theatrical cuts are basically not in the Richard Donner cut. Fairly straightforward. It's just it's director who gets the character and an actor who very much gets the character. And apparently you need both because all the versions without one of them really drag. 3 and 4 definitely skippable. This century we of course have had technically 3 Superman films, and Superman Returns is the best of them, and that is at best fine. Taking away the Bryan Singer has had some accusations against him. If you just look at the film as a film, it is perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. No major flaws, but there is also just no major hook to it as well. And as for Cavill, on paper, I think Cavill is a fantastic Superman. However, he has just been directed by someone who fundamentally doesn't get the character, which I believe is a major flaw of both Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. There's just this inherent sadness that is just not really fitting for the Superman character. It's just gloomy for the sake of being gloomy. It's like Snyder watched The Dark Knight and was like, I can do this dark, and somehow missed out how Nolan sort of counteracted all the darkness of The Dark Knight. And there was, if you look, there is all these very dark scenes with all this, but there is always this bright color sort of to counterbalance it. These really dark moments. And somehow Zack Snyder missed that when trying to seemingly emulate The Dark Knight with Man of Steel, and just left this dull, grey, so Henry Cavill may have made a really good Superman, but he just needed the right person directing him, and he never had that. The guy from Supergirl, though, he's just light years ahead. Whether you like that show or you don't, there is just something about him that he's enjoying it. That you feel like he's enjoying it, where you don't get that with Cavill. So, yeah, and I feel that is just part of it. There needs to be a sense of hope and joy, whereas, yeah, Snyder just extinguished all that. So, with James Gunn taking over the DCEU, this is going to be his first look at. This is going to be our first look at what he has planned. So, I've seen Gunn's take on superheroes in Guardians of the Galaxy. I've also seen his take on superheroes in the film Super, which is a very interesting deconstruction, but it's a deconstruction in a way that shows he actually gets what he's doing, as opposed to, say, M. Night Shyamalan in Glass, where he does a soliloquy about superheroes, seemingly from the point of view of someone who doesn't really get what he's talking about. So yeah, I do have hope that I do hold out hope for this one. So yeah, I know there was a trailer dropped a little while ago, and I heard positive things about it. I never actually got around to seeing it, so I'm gonna check this out and see what I think of this. I do believe Crypto the Superdog turns up in one of them, so yeah. All right then. So bear with me, and let's fire this up, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Okay, let's fire this up, shall we? See what we're doing. See what we're dealing with.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure. Okay, so this is so they're going with the whole lowest nose Clark is Superman. That is, I mean that. I'm going to be honest. The, so with here's my view on the glasses thing. It's not so much that Clark doesn't look like Superman with the glasses on. It's that Clark is so far removed from what Superman is that no one would believe that he's Superman. That's the way I sort of look at it. So it's not the glasses, it's not that everyone's stupid. It's just it's so unbelievable to think it's going to be that guy. It's the same with Batman and what the richest guy in the city is just wandering around at night getting beaten up by thugs. Come on, be serious. It's so yeah. It's not that they can't see him as Superman. It's metaphorically they can't see him. So yeah, but yeah, it is interesting. They're doing just straight away doing away with the secret identity. It's I don't know. It's something outside the Spider-Man films. It would be sort of nice to see more often because like the Spider that's one of the things that makes the recent Spider-Man films different. The fact that every other MCU film, everyone kind of knows who the superhero is, and so yeah, they kind of lose that something. There is something that's just lost there, I feel, but that's just my personal opinion.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire.
I liked how he just switched the voice there. It's just something subtle. Like they didn't. They've been doing it with Batman since the 80s. Just different voice for Batman as there is to Bruce Wayne, and yeah, there is just sort of just the Miss Lane that gives a certain gravitas that really just screams Superman to me.
For what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States
representing anybody except for me.
Around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
Ah, is it John Williams who does that score? That's just like I said, the Christopher Reeve films with Richard Donner directing, they're just the definitive Superman films for me. And yeah, you kind of that sound that sort of doom do 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 doom doom is it's certainly building up a hope with me. Also, just looking at the costume right here, it's really what the Cavill one should have gone with. It's the same. It looks like the same type of material they use, but it's just so much brighter. I was recently reading a more recent sort of Superman comic with, which was the father and son, and Superman Junior kind of had the Cavill style suit, but it was still the coloring kind of matched what I'm seeing here, and I was just like, yeah, they should have done that. They should have gone that sort of coloring because it's again, Superman is like this symbol of hope, something which Zack Snyder apparently didn't get the memo on. So yeah, I love how there is just a cynicism in the world to this Superman, which is the sad thing is, I think that's exactly what happened. If like someone like this would turn up today, there would just be like that group of people who are like, why? Who's this man who sort of thinks he's this great symbol of light? He's not. I I don't need that in my life. We have just as a world become more divided and cynical, and yeah.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Your choices, your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
I love that they're using like the old style text from like the 70s films. Yeah.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I claimed your boots. I'll go get them for you. You have a dog?
Well, that was something, yeah. Okay, just bear with me a moment. Let me process what I just seen. I'll be back with some final thoughts. That looks incredible. Seriously, just the color spectrum they're using. It's just so much. It's adding so much just to the feel of it. I think one of my issues with like the DCU, especially the Superman, especially the Snyder films, is just that they were so dark and grim. I remember watching that first Wonder Woman film, and you just saw, and like these establishing shots of the Amazon's island, just looked incredible. They just look. I remember thinking at the time, oh yeah, this is what films are supposed to look like. They're not supposed to just be. They're supposed to be spectacular, special. They're supposed to be cinematic. And there is very much an element of that in this trailer. Yeah, there is such a fantastical element of some of the characters that Superman was fighting there as well. You have like Lex Luthor continuously cropping up for Superman to be kind of like that counterpoint of here's the man who thinks he can beat Superman. But you also just have that. There was also like these fantastical elements, and it looked like there were some other heroes coming in there. I can't think of the guy's name from Arrow, but he had the electronic balls to shoot around. That was. Gotta be honest, I'm hoping they're not going to overstuff this too much, because I mean, on the one hand, everyone kind of knows the Superman origin. It's superhero origins are overdone. With, Marvel did it right by not showing Uncle Ben being shot a third time. Batman versus Superman didn't need the Batman origin at the beginning. especially as it wasn't that different from the Nolan one. But yeah, I don't think there needs to be a big focus on the Superman origin, because I mean, yeah, it's been a while since we've seen it, but we have seen it. We just, in the original film, it's over an hour before he gets the boots and the cape, but it was also the first time that I'm not including the Mole Man feature length thing, which was just an extended episode, which was like the pilot episode for the George Reeves series. But yeah, it was like one of the first times Superman had been seen, so yeah, we were prepared to wait that hour. Also, in the 70s, they did take more time with stuff like that. Just in more modern films, it doesn't work. That's one of the many issues with the recent Power Rangers film. Well, I say recent, 2017. They didn't wear the suits till like the last 20 minutes of the film, and it's like, why? And it's just like, it's just one of many flaws with that film. But yeah, the guy does just have like the right sort of. He does feel like a symbol of hope, as opposed to Henry Cavill, who just felt like almost like a martyr. I don't know the best way to describe that. So yeah, I am very much looking forward to this. Also, Crypto the Superdog. It feels like it fits in that universe, so that's one of those characters that you have to play just right, but it feels like there is an element of this that is like, yeah, no, that's going to work all right then. So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. DC EU, I'm going to be honest, I think it's more of a failed experiment than not. I know some of the later films are better, but I also have stopped caring by that point, so I've only seen some of them. So yeah, if this is the introduction to a new franchise, which I think it is, it's DC's not great with their messaging when it comes to that. But if this is the start of a new franchise, even if it's just the start of a new Superman series, I think it's the trailers are showing a great shout. Because although there is all that brightness, there is still that undercurrent of some of the world seems to not want him here, and you saw that bureaucracy being brought up in that interview. It's they're kind of doing what I think Zack Snyder wanted to do, but they're just choosing to do it. What's the word? Well. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Don't forget, you can like, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Check me out on the social medias. Check me out in real life. Just write me a check. So yeah, hey, if you're around Essex Way on 31st, Talks with Dorks, we still have a couple of tickets left, I believe. We're down to the last 40 or so tickets. So if you want to come by, check that out. The QR code will be at the end. Like I said, I've literally just come back off holiday, so I'm going to try and have a couple more videos up for the rest of the week, but it is very much hit or miss as to when and if I can actually get those off the ground. So keep it subscribed here. I will be back very shortly with some more music reactions, and yeah, I might have a few more of these up my sleeve too, depending on what's coming out in the next few weeks. So yeah, until next time, I've been LJ. It has been emotional.